What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Today's episode journey is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream if you know him from the gaming community. And today's topic is on how to kick habits, including sugar. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and enjoy this episode. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, everybody, and thank you for those who are returning. Thank you for those who are maybe just tuning in for the first time. Last week, if you haven't, the last two episodes really, if you haven't listened to those, I would go ahead and listen to those as part one of our nutrition series covering sugar and added sugars in food, drinks, and everything of the sort. And of course, if you have any questions, by all means, reach out. We would love to answer those. But today, I feel it is fitting to go over ways to kind of kick those habits, curb those habits, reduce tips to reduce the sugar intake, the added sugar intake, and this and that. So I apologize for the delay on this episode. We've been very busy because we're moving. If you've listened to the past episodes, you know that. Once we get settled in, there are plans in place for One Punch to really, in the podcast and the content to really take off here. And I'm very excited to do so. This time, there aren't going to be any setbacks. The content's going to be rolling. I am getting some online personal training type programs for people who are interested as well. So just gonna I'm gonna roll those out for One Punch because we have an app that you can use on your phone, follow the programs, get your videos. It's very awesome. Put that in an episode in the past as well. So I'm very excited about that. Last thing I want to say before we get into the episode is anybody interested in doing blood panels, I have me personally on my personal YouTube over on hallucinodream. All the links are in the description. You can go see my blood panels. I think I'm going to be uploading those as of recording this video, so probably the same day. I just got my recent blood panel back. I got some good news. I got some startling news. You can go look at the video to see that. I am I guess it's a partner type pro. They call it an Inside Tracker Pro. The company's Inside Tracker. I have a code. It's Inside Tracker. INSIDETRACKER.com. You can check out all the information there. I have videos as well, but you can check out the plans. I do the ultimate every time because I want to know everything. And I do have a 25% off code that you can use if you're listening. The code is AustinPro20. 25. That's AUSTINPRO25. And that will give you 25% off the entire store. So if you are interested or have any questions, you can go over to my personal YouTube, check out some videos. If you have any questions further than those, you can reach out. I would love to answer them. I am very much willing to help people answer questions after they get that's a point of me kind of being a pro. The Inside, quote unquote, Inside Tracker Pro is that it kind of puts me in a coach position for blood panels through Inside Tracker. So I am very much willing to help people, figure out what they need to do to, or what they need to do to be able to improve and optimize some of these biomarkers, as well as, maybe just dissect the information. And with that, we're going to get into the episode. So again, I apologize on the tardiness of this episode. I'm going to be posting 2 episodes this week to get back on track, and then once we move and get settled in, it's going to be hopefully very magnificent. I'm sorry if you're watching on YouTube. My camera is just being a little bit crazy here. I wonder how I can move to be able to stop it from doing that. Anyways, so tips on how to, get over what we're going to call it bad habits. And added sugar is a bad habit of nutrition, right? And eating not the best food for us. We'll call it a habit. It is a habit. You get into a habit of, and I've done it, and I still do it. Today, actually, I'm trying to break the streak. We'll get into that. But bad habits, you get into a bad habit of just maybe you're very, it's easier to go stop at Starbucks on your way to work because it's right next to work than it is to make your own coffee in the morning. There's a lot of sugar in those coffees for the most part, unless you get it black. Most people don't go to Starbucks and pay $6 for a black coffee. I have done that in the past, by the way. But most people don't do that, so there's a lot of sugar in there. That is just one thing that you can kind of, that's a habit that you can kind of mitigate very easy. Making coffee in the morning is not as easy, especially since like when I get up, I'm running around like crazy already. I'm always late, but I started setting my coffee up the night before so that it auto brews, and only once has that not actually turned out well. I don't know why the coffee maker didn't turn on, but it didn't. Anyways, I pressed the button in the morning because it was already set up, and it started brewing. Well, it took a couple minutes and really was still as late as I was going to be. Anyways, the first thing is, and right now this works for most habits, right? So like any habit you have that you feel you want to change in your life to improve. The first thing is, but we're talking about, sorry, I cut myself off. We're talking about sugar, right? Added sugar, nutrition, and food and drinks. But first thing is to identify the problem. So be aware of it. If you know you need to change your nutrition, and you haven't really pinpointed exactly what you want to change, but now you start saying, oh, I really need to, I'm aware that I do have a lot of added sugar in the drinks that I drink, the Mountain Dew, the Coke, and in the food that I eat, these cookies, these brownies that I'm getting, these quick little meals that are quote unquote meal replacement bars or meal replacement substitutes, but they do have quite a bit of sugar in them. I am realizing that I do have quite a bit of added sugar, and that's probably something I can minimize, right? And if you listen to the part one of the series, you'll know that, or you'll get, you know that there are many ways to pinpoint where the sugar is coming from, and it's I feel personally, one of the easiest things to try to mitigate from the nutrition portion of your life. And so becoming aware that you kind of have this habit that you want to change is one of the first steps you need to take, because if you just go in and say I want to change my nutrition, but you aren't really aware of why or what you want to change, it's going to be incredibly difficult to kind of start and maintain that, because well, as a nutrition as a whole, there's a lot that goes into it, so you kind of need to pinpoint those exact habits. After you become aware of it, you can kind of alter it. So a first step I would take is definitely take baby steps. So when I changed my nutrition, the first thing I did was cut out soda. I did used to drink a little bit of soda here and there, and that was the first thing I cut out. I made sure that was cut out. Regardless of what else I ate or drank, I just focused on the one thing. And after a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months went by, and I had zero desire to drink any soda anymore, or I was drinking other drinks that in replacement of them, such as kombucha or kombuchi, as I say. And the habit was kind of gone, and I had no desire to drink the soda, which happens. Then I moved on to something else. I said, well, what else can I change here? What else has sugar in it? Sweets do, right? For the most part, you're not really going to want to eat sweets that are unsweetened, because they wouldn't really be sweets then, would they? So I cut sweets out. And candy and anything of the sort, I just stopped eating it. I know I didn't stop eating it completely. If you listen to the episodes or you follow me on any of my social medias, you know that I have a sweet tooth, and my weakness is chocolate cake or chocolate brownies or anything chocolate, really. So I didn't completely cut it out, but I do try to keep it within reason of eating it. And I just took baby steps, right? So in regards to the sugar, you can really, and if you listen to part one, I mentioned that there are some foods you just can't escape, and drinks that have added sugar, but there are alternatives or different brands that have less sugar. So what you can do, instead of eliminating it, if you really want to, or you're dead set on drinking that drink or eating that food, you can find another version of it that has a little bit less sugar and see how that works, right? And then eventually you can maybe just really wean that whole food out, or get one that doesn't have any sugar in it. I will say dark chocolate was something I learned about early on, and the benefits of it, and I used to eat dark chocolate with sugar in it until I really realized that I don't need the sugar in it, because the sugar kind of, it brings negative effects with the positives, right? And negative benefits, because they're not benefits. So I started eating 100% dark chocolate. And if you've ever eaten 100% unsweetened, just pure dark chocolate, it's bland. But, and I just shared this, one of my buddies can, he can attest to this. I just shared a piece with him, asked him what he thought of it, and because I enjoy it. I enjoy the taste now. I think it's great because I like the benefits of it, and because I've been eating it. At the beginning, it wasn't so great. But he said it tasted like eating cardboard. He would never be able to eat that. And I said that's exactly how I reacted at the beginning as well. But the pros of eating it outweigh the cons. One of the cons, and the only con really, being the fact that it tastes like cardboard. And it eventually changed my taste buds. So now I really do enjoy that 100% dark chocolate. So it is able to be, that's something I feel like that people don't allow themselves to get to that point. And I'm not just talking about dark chocolate or sweets, I'm talking about any foods in general. I hear a lot of people saying they don't like to eat salads, spinach, leafy greens, whatever it may be, because they don't like the taste of it, because they don't give themselves an option, or they don't give themselves time to be able to develop a taste for it. And I think a lot of people can attest to having developed taste for different things throughout their life. So, but yeah, taking baby steps would be the second one after becoming aware. Another thing would be if you live with people, roommates, family, or a significant other, get them on board. If you want to cut sugar out, tell them about it and have them get on board with you. I'm sure they're going to be okay with it, and I'm sure they're going to want to join you for the health benefits, right? A lot of people do. They do want to eat healthy, and the best that it can. And if you're working together as a team, it'll become easier. I've said this for a variety of reasons throughout many podcast episodes. Doing this, having an accountability or a person to go ahead and move through the motions with, to be able to help with, it reduces some of the stress of it, and really it boosts motivation, and really the success will start to stack up, because you have that other person there helping to motivate you. The motivation is very big, and will push you and drive you to do that. So invite the people you live with, especially when you live with people, because if, let's say, I'm trying to kick my cake habit, but my wife keeps bringing in cake every single other day, and I see it and it's in my line of vision, I'm going to be tempted to eat it. This has happened, particularly because she has brought it in, but she has done that. But that's one thing that will help. Also, eliminate it from the house. If I don't want to eat brownies, or I don't want to eat my cake, I won't bring it in the house, and I will try to tell the people that I'm living with not to bring it in the house. And if I really am craving it, I will go out and get a single serving of it. It's hard for me to do. Most times I don't just bring in a single serving, but a single serving will prevent me from overeating it and really kind of like backtracking. And I will tell you firsthand, I've said this in other episodes as well, a large majority of the time, probably 99% of the time, I have zero desire to actually go drive to get it. So I just don't eat it because, and then eventually, like overnight, my desire to eat it has plummeted. Like, you know, so I will say that. I will say that removing it from the house is definitely very, very helpful. Um, Another tip I want to say, and this is a lot. This is all of these tips are good for different variety of habits, but a lot of nutrition habits here. I will talk about sugar as well. Your body craves sugar and carbohydrates when you get tired. I have really been eating a lot of chocolate and sweets and everything lately because I have been averaging 4.5, 5 hours of sleep because of how busy we've been, and my my job, my shift starts at 5 in the morning. So, sometimes the kid doesn't go to sleep until 9 p.m. It happens, um, but that drives the body's need for the energy. So it'll crave sugar and carbohydrates, which body turns into sugar, and for that energy boost to be able to get you through the day. But the body crashes again, right? So and your judgment will start to go down a little bit when the more tired you are, because your body needs the sugar over. Your body will crave the sugar more than the desire not to eat it, right? More than your motivation may allow you to continue your journey here. And in the days that you do get tired, if you do end up eating a little bit more sugar than you anticipated, that is not a huge deal. I'm trying to fix mine right now. My little lapse in eating cake and sugar and everything. And if I go a week and then I end up eating a piece of cake, I'm not even gonna sweat it. Like, I ate one piece of cake in a week. That's great. That's okay, right? I'm gonna accept that and be okay with it, and allow it to have curbed my sweet tooth and my need for that chocolate or cake or sugar-filled food. And then I'm just gonna go back to my normal routine of not eating it. So you can't be hard on yourself, because that won't help your journey. There's really no reason to be hard on yourself, because you can't really, after you eat it, you can't really change the past, right? You can't change the past in general, but you can make the future, right? So um, there's a couple of tips. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff, but I don't want to drag this episode out too much, considering I'm going to be doing a couple of episodes this week just to get back on track. So if anybody has information or tips that they have in regards to kicking habits, including those of nutrition and added sugar or sweets, by all means, reach out to us, let us know. We would love to go to those next week. Well, technically this week, because we're behind. Or on one of our 5th week episodes. Reach out to us on our social media. If you're watching here on YouTube, all the links are here on the left. If you're listening on the podcast platform, all the links will be in the description. I will put that inside tracker information in both descriptions, as well as you can reach out, or you can see my personal social medias as well, which is where those inside tracker videos will be. If you have any questions on that, reach out to either or me personally, or just One Punch in general, and I'll convert it to me and answer. And thank you for those who have tuned in and listened. Thank you for those who are new. If you like what you hear, give us a good review, follow us on social media, subscribe on YouTube, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.